Hey everyone, this is hopefully going to be a short and brief video about me talking about my thoughts about the MCU movies that I've watched recently. So far, as of writing this or even filming this, I have seen 3 MCU movies, which include Fantastic Four: First Steps, Captain America: Brave New World, and Thunderbolts. Of these 3 movies, the one that I enjoyed the most was Thunderbolts. Now, I loved the original Fantastic Four films. You'd think I'd like this one, right? You thought wrong! I thought so too, but it kind of feels like a nothing burger to me. I felt for the child in the movie, but that's the norm because you wouldn't really want the child to die, would you? Apart from the child, I didn't really care about any of the characters at all. We don't really get any sort of origin story out of them. It's kind of rushed to the point where they're just, they're already established as heroes, and then it's time to encounter this insane being. It all just feels quite rushed, and we're rushing towards the next Avengers movie, aka Doomsday. I feel like the characters themselves struggle to connect with the audience, or vice versa, because the actors playing the characters feel kind of just like they're not really their characters. Johnny Storm feels like his actor, and so does Pedro Pascal, unfortunately. Ben Grimm just kind of feels like a rock character. What I'm trying to say is that none of this feels like it has any weight to them. The enemy itself looks cool and stunning, even when he's on Earth. He also sounds pretty cool and pretty threatening too.
I was once little like you, billions of years ago.
But apart from that, there's not really anything else to get from this movie, at least in my opinion. This woman's powers are apparently more powerful than this guy's powers. The film kind of lost me at that point, because, how? And why? The sound design and the atmosphere and the visuals were all amazing, but I just wish the story and the writing could, service the visuals and the sounds. Instead, though, we have this conglomeration. That's a nice word, conglomeration. Moving on to the next one. The next one I watched is Thunderbolts, and whilst I don't know or care much about Yelena Romanov, I think her name is. She's the sister of Natasha Romanov. I ended up liking her and this film, surprisingly. In fact, I enjoyed this one the most, which I think I already mentioned. There was a part of the film where I felt like it kind of went a little bit downhill, but it did redeem itself later on. The film is about darkness, but also about connection and not being alone. If this writing was used for more MCU movies, I think I would actually be more inclined to watch more of them. Now on to the next one, aka Brave New World. Despite not caring much about Sam Wilson either, it was interesting to see his dynamic with the president, aka Harrison Ford. I also like his relationship with this guy, who I believe to be called Isaiah? Well, I know his last name is Bradley, so that's my brownie points, I guess. I really like the vibe of this film, because it felt like we were peeking in at the meetings that go on in the White House. I also like the vibe of these emergencies that involve national security. I always like it when authorities like this are involved, because for me that means real shit is happening. I would mention what happens at the end of the film, but I don't exactly want to be too spoilery. All I will say is, it got a little bit too bombastic for my liking, and I was like, can Sam Wilson even deal or handle this? Overall, I thought the film was okay. I did enjoy the film, but just not as much as I did with, Thunderbolts. If I were to rank these films, I'd say Thunderbolts, then Brave New World, then Fantastic Four. Now, since these films are heading towards Doomsday, I have seen the teasers, and one, why would you just outright reveal everyone being in the movie? Why? Why would you reveal Steve Rogers returning? I swear none of this happened with Deadpool and Wolverine, right? So like, why is this happening now? You know, it kind of feels a lot like, ooh, look at all the old actors or characters returning, you remember those, right? Be excited and be hyped for that. I, unfortunately, don't really have much of an excitement, or any excitement for the film. Haven't had excitement for the MCU, for any MCU project for a long time now. It just kind of feels like there's no narrative, and they're just, you know, throwing these actors in to generate more money. That whole chair reveal thing shouldn't have happened. Okay, so I think I'm a bit more understanding of why they showed Steve back first. They, firstly, want that buzz of him returning, but also want people to question why and how he's returning. We also got Thor returning now, and I like this teaser more than Steve's, if I'm going to be honest. Ever since Infinity War, and also the first Thor movie, I have loved Thor quite a lot, and I honestly cannot wait for this movie. It does feel like the stakes are a little higher this time. Also, I just want to make one thing clear to whoever is watching. The reason why I'm not doing a live reaction to any of the movies that I've seen is partly because of copyright, but also because I'd just rather watch a movie or TV show in my own time and then gather up my thoughts and talk about it. I know that I could just easily just create content like your average YouTube reactor does, but in reality, that just takes energy and work, and I don't really want to pour all of that into movies and TV shows that I want to enjoy. I also get that this could be a reason for me to get a Patreon so that I can put these up as like exclusive videos for like a price. I just don't like having stuff behind a price tag. I'd much rather have something free and you decide to donate in support of what I do. I also realise I probably should say all of this in like a separate video just because, you know, some people won't watch this due to potential spoilers. I'm just really glad that we have a platform where we are able to share thoughts online about the things that we love and have interest in, and to not keep it to ourselves in this little bubble that we have. Okay, so now you've reached the end of the video, and this is now going to be off script. And I know that I've mentioned that I've seen most of the teasers of like Avengers Doomsday. I've also seen the teaser for Avengers Doomsday that involves the return of Professor X and Magneto, and oh my gosh, I am definitely way more excited for the film now. Not because all the actors are returning, but the way that they're being presented, it just feels like there is some, I don't know, high quality work being put into it. I mean, it's being, I was going to say written by the Russo brothers, but no, they're directing it. I don't actually know who's writing it, but like it's been directed by the Russo brothers, and they did Infinity War and Endgame, and despite people's opinions of Endgame, I enjoyed both so much. I'd say I enjoyed Infinity War a little bit more than Endgame, because I do feel like Endgame was a bit... it's a little bit flawed, but both of them I love very much, and because the Russo brothers are doing Doomsday and most likely Secret Wars as well, I am excited for both films. Not entirely sure how I feel about them cramming so many actors and their characters into the film, because it does feel a little bit like fan service and, you know, cameo for cameo's sake. But I am intrigued and cautiously optimistic that they might be able to do it justice. But apart from all of that, I am also glad that I'm finally like doing videos like this, because I've always been sort of scared, I guess, to transition a little bit away from gaming content, and I don't really do much reaction content anyway, but yeah, mostly gaming content, and I just want to try out these sort of videos, not because I want them to perform well, but I just want to express my thoughts about this media that I'm watching. And as I said, I'm not going to react to it live because that takes so much time and effort, and I don't even know if I have that time and effort. But I want to watch these shows and movies and then talk about them, and hopefully people will appreciate my thoughts. Maybe, I don't know. I'm mostly just doing this because I want to just put my thoughts out there. Whether or not people care about my thoughts is another matter. I just want to put it out there. Just because these are my thoughts, and I want people to know what my thoughts and feelings are about TV shows and movies. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's going to be it of the video now, finally. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.